Hi guys, let's recap the fight of the great Manny Pacquiao. Okay, so let's start off with Rustico Campo. Okay, so he lost that fight, knockout. And then let's just summarize everything. We don't need to go into details. Okay, so he won uh, via KO against Satchai Sasaku, which it's very obvious he got a very big size advantage, and he was uh, he was sent to school by Chachay Sasakul at that fight. He was, I mean, Sasakul uh, gave him a lot of boxing lessons, and it's clear that Manny Pacquiao just bullied Chachay Sasakul, and he was the bigger fighter. And then he lost to Midjuin Singh Surat TKO. He can't make the weight. He's just dehydrated. Okay, and now let's move on. A lot of wins, a lot of wins, a lot of wins. Okay, let's move to Nadal Hussein. So TKO, but Nidal Hussein gave him some problems, and then there is a TKO win by uh, uh, with Lil Honolo. This just cut it short. Ledwaba. Okay, this is gonna be the first controversial thoughts, my controversial thoughts. If everyone would say that Pacquiao was set up in this fight with Ugas, you could also say that Ledwaba was set up for Manny Pacquiao. We don't know that, right? Like Ledwaba was preparing himself for another guy, and within 2 weeks' notice, Pacquiao went in and then just demolished uh, Ledwaba. What if Pacquiao was already preparing for that fight? What if Pacquiao already knew that there would be like an injury or whatever, that the other guy would back out of the fight? So don't say that Manny Pacquiao was set up for to fight with. It was like a setup, like a conspiracy, so that he would be beaten by who's that? Ugas, yeah. So guys, what happened now? If it is really a conspiracy, if it is a conspiracy, then the Ledwaba fight would be a conspiracy as well. You know what I mean? And okay, let's move on. I'm gonna tell you about my thoughts on that sooner. Okay, so Agapito Sanchez. Wow, it was a draw, and Agapito Sanchez gave him a lot of problems, and there is already like a lot of I could see a lot of flaws in Manny Pacquiao's fight, and I'm gonna tell you later. Okay, so win, and then a draw with Juan Manuel Marquez. Another like I could see a lot of flaws again in that fight. So okay, so Eric Morales, he lost, and then win, and then he won. He won back what he lost to Eric Morales, Escolarios, and everything. Marco Barrera, Juan Manuel Marquez, David Diaz, Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton. Okay, now Ricky Hatton. Okay, So what did Ricky Hatton say? Same move every time, right? Same move every time. Okay, but he wasn't able to pull it off. Now this starts to get on like this thing gets more interesting. So we go to Miguel Cotto. Okay, so Miguel Cotto, as we see in the first few rounds, Miguel Cotto was getting ahead on points with Manny Pacquiao. Miguel Cotto is a left-hander, and he prefers to be in an orthodox stance, and that left hand of Miguel Cotto keeps on getting in Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, it keeps on getting. He doesn't have any solution to that. Manny Pacquiao doesn't have any solution to Cotto's left hand. But the thing is, Miguel Cotto fell into a trap. So first, Manny Pacquiao knocked him down because Miguel Cotto is overexerting himself. So in Manny Pacquiao, you don't want to overexert yourself, because he's just gonna go into your left and do his same move every time, right? And it's so fast that you can't even see it's coming, but you know it's gonna come, but it's so fast. So that was a trap. And another trap was that when Manny Pacquiao backs off and then he stops, don't go for a kill. Miguel Cotto went for a kill, and it was another trap. So to make things short, if you are fighting Manny Pacquiao, you have to push him, but step by step. Don't overexert yourself, or else you're gonna be into a trap. And if you're pushing him, if he stops, don't fall for another trap. Sounds familiar? Yeah, Ugas did it right. Ugas got Cotto's left hand. It keeps on getting in, and Ugas got that overhand right of Marquez, right? But Ugas wasn't too. He keeps on pressuring Manny Pacquiao, but step by step. You know what I mean? Step by step. He doesn't rush in through. If you back off, then Manny Pacquiao is gonna annihilate you. But Ugas didn't back off. Sometimes he backs off just to get away from those punches, but he kept coming back. He kept forward a little bit, step by step. Doesn't fall into the trap. Every time Manny Pacquiao goes into Ugas' left, it's so simple. Ugas just turns to his left, turns to his left. Just face Manny Pacquiao, and don't ever turn around to Manny Pacquiao's right. Well, they say that in order to avoid Manny Pacquiao's left, you turn around to Manny Pacquiao's right. That is a big no. You know why? Yeah, you are in a defensive situation, but the sad thing is that is a blind side. You will not be able to see his left. So the commentator said, why is Ugas moving to Manny Pacquiao's power hand? Isn't it dangerous? Yeah, it's dangerous. But if you know to keep the distance, you're gonna be able to see him coming. So that is the blueprint. To beat Manny Pacquiao. Okay? So it has already been obvious from the start. And rough him up also. Rough him up like Sanchez did. You rough him up, and all those things I said. Do all of this stuff. And that's the blueprint. It's just the same move every time, right? It's just the same move every time. Now, let's go to further fights. Okay, so in Cotto's fight, you could already have the entire blueprint on how to beat Manny Pacquiao. But of course, you need to have that physicality as well. You cannot beat him if you don't have enough skills and talent. Okay, let's go to Joshua Clottey. Oh, there's another blueprint uh, Joshua Clottey brought in, like the 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 earmuffs. That's what they say. Okay, so Antonio Margarito, no, he's not Class A. No, here goes. Here goes Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley got the blueprint. He got the physicality. He got the experience. He's old, but he's still good enough. Does have the brains? Nah. Okay. Juan Manuel Marquez. Oh, this was a good fight, you know. And many people thought Juan Manuel Marquez won. Okay. Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley is just a little bit small. I mean, he's huge, but the reach, the height, it's not really that, you know, imposing on Manny Pacquiao. Now here comes the next one. KO to Juan Manuel Marquez. Brandon Rios is not a Class A fighter. Again, a fight with Timothy Bradley, Chris Algieri, no, not so good. And then a loss to Floyd Mayweather. Okay, a loss to the great Floyd Mayweather. And as I've said before, that fight, Manny Pacquiao won that fight. Won that fight. I'm not going to go into details, but this is another fight wherein Floyd Mayweather got exposed. He already got the blueprint to beat Manny Pacquiao, and everybody would say, "Oh man, Ugas is a huge fighter." Blah blah blah. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you guys. People would say a bigger fighter has the advantage. Why? Okay, a bigger fighter got the advantage because first of all, he got the capacity to absorb the punches of a smaller fighter. And what is the advantage of the bigger fighter? The reach. But what if I say that Ugas doesn't have the reach advantage? He's got only like 69 wingspan reach. That's wingspan, right? It's not this one. It's wingspan reach. So he's just got like an inch advantage with Manny Pacquiao when it comes to reach, because you're gonna divide it by half, right? From here to here. So it's just an inch advantage. And Floyd Mayweather got a huge wingspan advantage, 72 compared to Ugas. And another thing, does a bigger guy have a disadvantage? Yes, of course. What is it? Aside from speed. Well, if he has speed, you say he doesn't have an advantage. He has an advantage. The bigger you are, the bigger target you should be in front of an opponent who is smaller than you. And that's why I say that Ugas doesn't have really a lot of physical advantage to Manny Pacquiao. He's bigger, but his reach is so short, which means he's a bigger target, but he can't even impose his size because he's got small reach. And Mayweather is a smaller fighter, which is he has a smaller target for Manny Pacquiao, and he can impose his like distance. And yet, it's a controversial win for Mayweather. So what is it, guys? I tell you, Mayweather is stupid. That's what he is. And Manny Pacquiao is not that smart. You know what I mean? So I tell you guys, their era is a lot of bullshit.